welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant.
And I'm Abby, the Badass Breastfeeder. And today's episode is brought to you by Fairhaven Health. If you leak breast milk, you can now stop losing it to your breast pad and instead collect it to add to your stash. And today's episode is also brought to you by Original Sprout. Original Sprout carries safe, effective, and pediatrician-tested shampoos, conditioners, styling, and body care products. We'll hear more from our sponsors in a little while, but right now, I want to tell you something. Please head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page if you need anything, because the sponsors make this podcast possible. Check there to see if you can give them any of your business. And while you're there, scroll down and enter your email address and get episodes sent straight to your inbox every Monday. And now Dianne has our review of the week.
And it comes from iTunes. And this comes from PGKDT. And she says, I'm a first-time mom nursing my little one, and this podcast has been great to learn from and makes me feel secure in the decisions I'm making. I love that the hosts are so real and talk about the way breast chest feeding that I do with my closest friends. Thank you so much for leaving a review for us and for the lovely words and for being my friend, because I need all the friends I can get, let me tell you.
Yep. This is the only adult conversation we have all week. For me, at least me. So thank you for letting me talk to you.
I know.
Hey,
this
guys,
is really... We appreciate so much that you trust us, so thank you so much for leaving reviews for us. She put this on iTunes and that was great, but send us an email. If you can't put it on iTunes, you can throw it on Instagram for us and we pick it up there. Whatever works for you. We just love to hear what you love. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today, we got a show for you.
We're talking about stupid shit you see on social media.
Da-da-da-da-da.
We're excited because we like to, dish.
Oh my God.
Well, so social media. So this is something that really has kind of changed the way that information is being spread. It's changed the way that people are interacting with each other. People that would have been alone in their homes with a new baby are not feeling so alone anymore, are getting access to information that they didn't have before. And this is all just such wonderful things. These are all just fantastic things.
I mean, like, even just look at our review. She's like, you feel like my friend sitting on the couch. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And, this is what is changing the game for a lot of people. People are meeting online and becoming friends. That's how, like, my good friends, we met online.
Oh, that's so cool.
Of course we ended up in person, but like it was Facebook groups and breastfeeding groups and homeschool groups, where we realized that, we kind of had some things in common and then met up and now we're still friends. Like, the one friend that I met like in a breastfeeding group, when our kids were babies, like we're still friends. Really good friends. Like I see her all the time and it's been like almost 10 years. So, people meet their spouses online.
Yeah, absolutely.
People, this is like changing the world in amazing ways. But of course, there is a downside, and we all know that there are major downsides to social media. And
absolutely.
A lot of it we don't have to get into, what was that show? What was that documentary called? The Social Network?
Oh, yeah. That was so good. Yeah. I can't remember what the name of it was. I'll have to see if I can think of it.
I feel like it was called The Social Network or not. Was
the
it
Social Dilemma? Was it Social Dilemma?
Social Dilemma. Yes.
Yeah,
the
that's
Social
what it was.
Dilemma. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's really good. It talks about, especially because I know that there's like a lot of people becoming parents now that don't even really remember kind of what, weren't of age really to remember when there was no internet, and how kind of information and life was like that before. Mm-hmm. And so it's you're just like, well, this is just normal. This is just how it is. And it's really this is just how it's always been. It's not always how it's always been. Not that there was ever any perfect time. It's not like, oh, things were so awesome before it. Of course there were like tons of problems, but now that it's here, we have all these great things, and then there's a downside too. And so one of the downsides that we're going to talk about today, or that we're really going to focus on, is like how breastfeeding and chest feeding information gets around to people. And, you see this with a lot of like influencers. That's a word now for people who are like on social media. I guess that's what people would call me.
I was about to say, you're an influencer. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And so, because you can, if you want, you can go on social media and you can create an account, you can call it whatever you want, and you can say and share whatever you want. Whatever you want. If you want to talk about how you live with little green aliens and, you want to share your life on social media, like you can do that. And you can just say whatever you want. You can say and do. There's no social media has a little bit of course we know this, especially in the breastfeeding world of, the blocking and the canceling of accounts and stuff that happens because boobs are being exposed and, it's being equated with pornography because you can see a boob, and the fight that I've been a part of really for the past 10 years of like pushing social media to distinguish between these things and not, and so a lot of progress has been made there. But as we know, what I'm saying is like, there's no internet police and saying like, this isn't something that you can say or do. Like you can really do and say whatever you want. And people do. And people, especially in the world of like influencers, people get paid really to say things and create posts that get a lot of engagement to just create content, right? So there's this pressure, there's this idea that you're there and out there and you're creating content, you're creating original content that people want, you're providing them with information. And a lot of this information is terrible information. Like a lot of it's great. I mean, I follow a lot of awesome breastfeeding accounts that I really like, and they share like great content. And I'm being the judge and the jury of what is good content. And to me, good content is like evidence-based information that that will help you meet your goals of, breast chest feeding. But a lot of it is terrible information, and people don't always care. They just want to put the information out there, create their little Pinterest board or their Instagram images with information and those little diagrams or whatever on it. And so Dianne and I went through the internet, the whole internet. Just kidding.
the whole internet. We didn't have to get too far to find some shit.
Really did not have to go far. We just looked around and tried to find some things. We just looked around, and I, outside of my newsfeed, I was searching like hashtag breastfeeding, hashtag milk supply. I was doing Instagram. I think you were doing Pinterest.
I was doing Pinterest. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we came up with some things that are so common, that I've seen before and I will say, let me say this. Not that I haven't been saying shit for the past 10 minutes, but I follow the accounts that I really like, even then, and the accounts that I think are generally really great. Even then, I see information sometimes seep through where I'm like, no, actually, no, that's not the case. And I'll start since I'm talking. The one that I see all the time, and I see this come from reputable resources too, is that you have to drink a certain amount of water in order to make enough breast milk.
I hate that
one. And
I'm
so tired of seeing this. I am so tired of seeing this. And you see it everywhere. Listen, you do not need to drink a certain amount of water in order to make enough breast milk. This is not how this works.
Your body's going to make the milk regardless of the amount of water you drink. I really think that a lot of this content gets put out with good intentions, but just not correct information. And people are just assuming, oh, you must need this. You must need water. You must need to be hydrated in order to make breast milk. or somebody drank a lot of water and thought they had more milk that day, and now, boom, that's your evidence. It's not. That is not evidence-based information.
Right. You think, well, obviously it's healthier to remain hydrated, so that must mean that would affect your breast milk too.
It doesn't.
It makes logical sense in my mind, and so therefore it must be true. But no, when you really break it down, it doesn't make logical sense. That's not how breast milk is made, and that's not true.
And there's no evidence to support it.
Right. When I contacted, when I was with Jack, breastfeeding Jack, and I was having all those problems, and I called a lactation consultant, she was like, make sure you're just drinking to thirst.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you don't need to, like, I didn't even ask. That was probably just one of her like pet peeves, you know. She was just like, let me just say this. Drink to thirst. I was like, all right.
Well, that's
so
a good
what'd you
one.
find?
So I pulled up the one that started it all for us.
Yeah.
I was looking at my Pinterest board one day. This is a few weeks ago. I was looking at Pinterest or whatever. And I came across this one, and it was so ridiculous. I had to send it to Abby, and I said, we really should do a episode on the stupid shit that's out there, because this is ridiculous. 8 tips to prevent and fix saggy breasts from breastfeeding.
Oh, God. There's so many layers to that I hate.
First of all, why this is even something on Pinterest, I have no idea. Like, I don't, whatever. But second of all, breastfeeding does not cause sagging breasts. There has been a ton of research behind that. That has been a ton of information behind that. It's not a thing. And here, big as all outdoors on my Pinterest page is how to prevent and fix saggy breasts. 8 tips.
Eight,
oh my
tips
to fix and prevent sagging breasts from breastfeeding. It says that specifically, from breastfeeding. So if I'm pregnant, I'm looking at this and going, oh shit, I'm going to have saggy breasts from breastfeeding. This is not a thing.
I was watching, do you remember that show, The Doctors? I don't even know if it's on anymore.
Oh yeah, I remember
The
that.
Doctors, and actually one of the Dr. Sears kids was on there.
Oh really?
Yeah, you know who Dr. Sears, Dr.
Absolutely.
Sears. Yeah. So one of his sons was one of the doctors on there, and he was actually the only one who ever said anything that made any sense. But the rest of them, there was like an ER doctor who, and then a woman who, I can't remember what her specialty was. And then there was a plastic surgeon. They had Jewel, the singer Jewel.
Yeah.
On one time, and she was talking about breastfeeding. And the plastic surgeon says, this dude goes, well, you're going to have to come see me when you're done, but... And she just was like, well, whatever. Or what, she just kind of like tried to say like a snarky response, but like, what in the goddamn hell, and what what the heck? Oh my God. I was so angry. Like, what the hell?
And who says we want to fix it?
Right. And who are your first of all, sagging breasts? I'm sorry. If somebody's breasts are not sagging and sticking straight out, that's some sort of like magical bra that they've got on, because that is not what breasts do.
Right.
We live in a world that has gravity. These things protrude from our chests. They're gonna sag, and as you get older, they're gonna sag more. Sorry to tell all of you that, but like, this is gonna happen to you naturally.
And a lot of it is genetics too. A lot of it is your DNA and how your body adapts to muscle changes and how elasticized your skin is and what has happened in your family for generations.
Yeah, it's like stretch marks. People are like, oh my God, I got to prevent stretch marks. This cream will prevent stretch marks, and I can put this cream on. You cannot prevent stretch marks. Stretch marks are going to happen or not. I never got a single stretch mark.
I didn't really either.
And it's not because I did something magical. It's just because my skin is just really elastic, I guess.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And then other people just get tons and tons of stretch marks, even early on, because they're, whatever. And I remember, you can't do anything about it, and don't worry about it. That's what your body is supposed to be doing. And it's awesome. And we probably should have designated an entire episode to this one thing, because we could probably go on and on about all this nonsense with our bodies. Stop playing to, the abuse that women have, experienced over their bodies. And try to, try to play to that and get, followers or likes or clicks on your affiliate link or whatever. It's disgusting. I hate seeing people do it.
I know. It's awful. So that's my biggest one. I did find some other good ones.
Yeah, totally. I did too.
That's my big
should
one.
we go into those after a word from our sponsors?
Oh, already?
I know.
Blimey.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we have a lot to say. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So hold on to your seats, people. First of all, listen to this. Today's episode is brought to you by Fairhaven Health. Do you leak breast milk? Have you ever thought about how much breast milk you are soaking up into your breast pads and throwing away? What if you could catch that milk and add it to your stash instead? The Milky's Milk Saver allows you to do just that. Slide the Milk Saver into your bra or tank top on the non-nursing side to catch the letdown while you breastfeed. People are adding ounces upon ounces to their stash on a daily basis. Thousands and thousands of breastfeeders have discovered this product. It holds 2 ounces of milk. It's comfortable to wear and reusable. You might be thinking that you don't leak very much. That is what most people say before they have actually used the Milk Saver. You will be shocked at how much milk you collect, at how much liquid gold you are throwing into the garbage. This milk can be used to beef up your stash, to make breast milk keepsakes, for baths, for breast milk popsicles, lotions, soaps, you name it. Breast milk is worth saving. Check out the Milky's Milk Saver at fairhavenhealth.com. That's FAIRHAVEN health.com. And use code BADASS for 15% off of your purchase. And today's episode is also brought to you by Original Sprout. Original Sprout carries safe, effective, and pediatrician-tested shampoos, conditioners, styling and body care products produced and packaged in California, USA. The Reef Safe Face and Body Sunscreen is SPF 27 and made with 10% non-nanoparticles of natural zinc for broad spectrum protection against both UVA and UVB rays. The gentle formula won't clog pores and is safe for babies, children, and adults. Protect your skin from damage from the sun for long-term skin health. All of Original Sprouts products are paraben and phthalate-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. Their proprietary formulas contain nourishing extracts from fruits, vegetables, and flowers that the whole family can enjoy. Made for babies, perfect for grown-ups too. Check out the entire line at originalsprout.com and use code BADASS for 25% off of your purchase. These sponsors and their promo codes can be found in our show notes under this episode at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com. Our show notes will also include further information about things we talk about in this episode. And at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com, you will also find all of our breastfeeding resources, our other episodes, and information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne. And now back to stupid shit you see on social media.
Da, 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 da.
So what else did you see? There was another one that was cracking me up that you sent. It was the
lactation drink.
Yes, the lactation drink from Starbucks.
Yes. Purple lactation drink. I do have that one. What you'll need, the Very Berry Hibiscus via refreshers from Starbucks and organic coconut milk. You mix them together and you will be spraying milk everywhere, according to this.
They'll just start pouring out your breasts. You won't even know. You'll need the Milk Saver to catch it all there.
So that one. And there was 2 drinks I came across. So that's the purple lactation drink. The other one is the Body Armor breastfeeding drink hack. Body Armor strawberry banana flavor, sugar-free coconut water.
And you mix that together and you
mix that together and you will be a milk machine. Body Armor drinks don't work. I hate to burst anybody's bubble. None of these drinks work. These drinks are ridiculous. But to say, go get yourself a Starbucks refresher and mix it with No, I mean, that's basically you're doing an ad for Starbucks is what you're doing.
Right. And, this is one of the things that I think you see everywhere. And it also comes from a lot of reputable places sometimes is drinking and eating in a specific way will get you more breast milk. And this is not true. You hear a lot with the oatmeal. Eat oatmeal, drink beer, drink a lot of water, have a Starbucks refresher, and you're going to have so much milk, you won't know what to do.
It has nothing to do with your stomach contents at all.
Oh, and the lactation cookies too. Those are everywhere.
Oh, yeah, those are everywhere. Those don't do anything. But that leads me to my next one, the breastfeeding meal plan. That was also on the Pinterest board. The breastfeeding meal plan. So you have to have a specific meal plan. Who has time for that?
No, I mean, eating, having food is necessary for you to be alive, and eating food that you like and is going to keep you filled, because you're also going to be especially with a new baby, you're going to be up all the time. Yes, it's important to eat, and it's important to eat foods that you like and foods that are nourishing for your body and all of that so that you can feel your best and you can sleep well and you can take care of your baby and,
be
fight
healthy,
through those,
yeah.
Be healthy and feel good. The thing is, you need to be eating and doing things that make you specifically feel good so that you can get through those rough days with your new baby. Your body's going to make milk. You don't have to worry about that. And there's nothing you can do. There's no specific meal plan that you can do that's going to make you make more milk. The eating should come from a place that you enjoy and makes you feel good. That's what eating should be. It shouldn't. We're so messed up about eating in this country.
But this is it makes everything look so difficult.
Yeah.
If I were, when I knew nothing from nothing when I had my first one, and if I saw, okay, you have to have a certain meal plan, these drinks will really help you. You have to you become, first of all, if you're still going to go through with breastfeeding, because it seems awfully hard if you have to have a specific meal plan, your breasts are going to sag and you got to go to Starbucks every day for a refresher. I mean, this is a lot of stuff. So that might be a little bit too much for me. I'm not going to breastfeed. Or how obsessive do you become about this?
Yeah.
You just become so obsessed with, I need to do all this stuff to be able to breastfeed my baby. And that's not true. None of that is true. None of this stuff there's no evidence to back up any of these things that we are finding and talking about.
No. And I always point it out, and I'll point it out again, but women in concentration camps had full milk supplies for their babies. And these people were malnourished, dehydrated, and their body was making milk because that's all it knows how to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend being dehydrated and malnourished, but you're not.
Far from it.
You are far from that. And, the point is that this is not how breast milk works. And you don't need to be doing all of this, jumping through hoops to breastfeed. How did we survive? Also think about this. How did we survive before Starbucks? I don't know, because I love Starbucks, but not to make more breast milk. How did people survive this whole time without all of these tips and these tricks and these, humans living through horribly, devastating times on the planet where food was scarce and, migrating from one place to another. And, it hasn't always been the modern world. People were living through different things in centuries past. And here we are.
We made it.
Yeah.
To talk about how we don't need this stuff.
Your body, will just have a baby and your body will take care of that baby. And if you can stay alive, then you're good to go.
All right, what else you got?
All right. So I found one kind of on the lines of this that said that you must eat 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day to make enough milk.
Come on. Are you serious? It
Yeah.
actually gave a calorie amount that you
yes,
have to
it
eat
says
to make enough milk?
2,000 to 2,500 calories.
Oh my God.
Do not count freaking calories. Don't
You
ever do
don't-
that.
It doesn't matter how many calories you eat to make breast milk. It's
Here's
not
another
based
one.
on your food. I mean, I think we've
Right.
said this like everything that we've talked about, except for the sagging thing. Your body is not base your milk supply on the food that you eat or the drinks that you drink.
Right. No. And here is tips to increase milk supply. Yoga.
Oh, is that for the relaxation? Oh,
I don't know. It says tips to increase milk supply. And there's other things on here that are not terrible. It says try power pumping. Well, then it says eat lactogenic foods.
whatever.
Yeah, which is, we already talked about this. It also says drink 8-ounce cups of water a day. We already talked about this. Use your hands, like breast massage and breast compression. I can get down with that.
Mm-hmm.
Feed 8 to 12 times in 24 hours.
Okay.
I mean, just breastfeed on demand.
Right,
See a lactation consultant. I agree with that. It says consider a galactagogue.
No,
and then try yoga.
because there's so much time
The
to do that.
yoga was
too.
the one that stopped me, and I was like, wait a minute. So yoga increases milk supply? Because also for the relaxation, also, the best way to stress somebody out is to tell them that stress affects their milk supply.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Stress affects your milk supply. Oh, that's really going to help someone be like, oh, well, I need to relax more. No. That's going to make them stress out more. And it's really not going to affect your milk supply.
I'm thinking back to when my kids were babies and I was breastfeeding. Yoga was the last thing I was thinking about.
I know. If
You know,
like
like-
yoga, cool, do it. But like, don't panic and start being like, oh no, I need to do. I'll try yoga. I think I have low milk supply. Let me try yoga.
Like when is there time?
I don't
Especially
know.
at the beginning. Like that's the other
Right.
thing. I mean, I definitely went back to exercising, but it wasn't the first thing that happened.
No, it shouldn't
when we're
be.
talking
Your
about
body
milk
needs to
supply
rest,
stuff,
man. Your
yeah.
body needs to rest.
Like yoga, I mean, it might not be your top priority. But I would be interested to know if that was a yoga teacher that wrote that.
No,
No.
I don't think so. No, it doesn't. No, it's a lactation page.
Oh. Do you have another one?
So I can change the subject. Oh, well, there's also so I'll yes, I do have more. I'm just change the subject slightly.
Or I
So
can do
I
one.
found-
but yeah, you,
You do one. Sorry, yeah.
you want me to do one?
Yes.
Okay. How to balance breastfeeding and pumping. And at first, when I saw this one, I was like, all right, because I do have a lot of people that are like, okay, now I want to, I need to start pumping. When is the best time to do it? So I'm like, let me see what they say about this. It was basically, if you're somebody who's going to need to, pump milk, if you're going back to work or whatever, you're going to need a stash. If you're only breastfeeding, you're not going to have a stash. You have to start pumping in the hospital. And I'm like,
Oh my God! Don't.
are you
put them
kidding
in the
me?
hospital.
You want, it was actually saying like you want an oversupply so that you can freeze milk. That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually dangerous advice to give somebody. Start pumping in the hospital so you can have an oversupply so that you can pump and stash milk. Because if you only breastfeed, it's not enough.
Yeah, that's the whole pumping thing in this country is crazy.
I mean, that is, and I found that the headline of that was very deceptive because it wasn't about balancing breastfeeding and it was about you want a lot of milk, so you need to start pumping in the hospital. And it gives you a pumping schedule of when to feed and how many times after and when to pump afterwards.
Because you always hear this. In order to get more milk, pump. So the advice is to put your baby down, the most effective milk sucker on the planet. Put the baby down and hook yourself up to this machine, and then you'll get more milk.
Yep.
Just your baby's right there. There's nothing more effective than your baby. I mean, I guess unless you're like trying to create an oversupply, then yeah, you're going to need some extra help. But who would want to do that?
I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous advice. And like I said, and dangerous advice. Oversupply can lead to problems. Mastitis and plug ducts and, all this stuff. Don't try to give yourself an oversupply just because you're afraid you might not have enough milk. It's not worth it. Just feed your baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What you got?
So the next topic that you see a lot is getting your body back.
Oh, I hate that.
You see all of this. Foods to eat, diet plans. I have a postnatal Pilates and tummy flattening exercise here in front of me. So we already went into the whole body thing a little bit, but like, how is it going to make anybody feel when you scroll through your news feed, constantly scrolling through your news feed, seeing how to get your body back, and this postpartum body is just temporary, don't worry, you'll lose the weight, you'll get all this stuff away, as if you're somehow not worthy or not amazing in what you just did and how you look right now. This disgusts me, and it's everywhere.
I hate it.
We're running out of time, but also Gatorade.
Just the Gatorade one.
Drink
Love
Gatorade.
the Gatorade one. Yeah.
The other thing you see, sorry, go ahead.
What is that? Our fourth drink that's supposed to be a super milk making thing?
Right. And one of these, like, the disgusting drinks with like sugar and dyes and all that stuff in it. Ugh. And it's like telling people that it's a good thing to drink.
If you have a hangover, or if you've been throwing up for days, I mean, that's the only time I think I drink Gatorade is if I'm like. But even then,
I would never drink Gatorade. I'm sorry, I won't buy the Gatorade. That's disgusting.
I think I've had it like if I was really sick.
And if you like Gatorade, fine, that's fine. But don't drink it thinking you're going to get more milk.
No, it has nothing to do with your milk supply. And people think, it puts, all these, electrolytes and everything. What? Why do we need that for that? We don't need that for breastfeeding. We don't want you to be dehydrated because that's not good for anybody. But you do not need some kind of fancy drink to put into your system because it's going to give you more milk.
No, it's all marketing.
It's all marketing.
All of this is marketing. And so we think about marketing as like companies that are trying to sell products. But when you are talking about social media, think about the influencers that are putting the information out there as companies who are trying to sell you something. It's a little bit different because maybe they're not selling a particular product, but they are probably advertising for another product, just like we do here. And they're trying to get you to click. They're trying to get you to an affiliate link probably, or just to grow their page, or just to do something like that. So you have to be very, very careful about the information that you see. Another piece of information that you're going to see all the time is alcohol and breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. There's so much terrible information out there about that. And you can see our alcohol episode if you want. Yeah. But the bottom line is that there's actually studies. A lot of people have been doing studies about breastfeeding support groups online and whether or not they're effective, and like just having that community online and all of that. And I think that might be a little bit different than like influencers putting stuff in your newsfeed. But like, these breastfeeding support groups online, these studies are actually finding that people are breastfeeding longer, that, they're feeling supported, that they're, that it's like working, that it's a good thing. And so the point is that just be very careful about the information that you're seeing. And, we say, trust us, don't trust them. How are you supposed to know who to trust? I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just, look a little bit further into the information if you need it. Because there is a lot of stuff out there that's just downright harmful, really, to be putting in people's minds.
And we are like, when you talk about, like, yes, we do advertising here as well. We are really particular.
Yeah, let me tell you all the money we turn away.
Yeah, we are really particular.
Because we won't advertise certain things. We just won't do it.
Yeah. Because it's not the message we want to put out there.
Right. If it's, I mean, we're here to provide information and we're not here to give you wrong information. And this stuff is so harmful. So you just be careful of what you see and unfollow people. You don't have to follow people when you see something like, you're constantly seeing images, in your feed about like getting your body back. Take that out. Unfollow all of that. Don't constantly have that in your head that there's something wrong with your breasts or your stomach or whatever. Get it out.
Yeah, you're perfect.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.